Have you ever wondered how pervasive domestic violence really is? It's an uncomfortable question, but one that needs addressing. Domestic violence, a pattern of abusive behavior used to gain power and control in intimate relationships, is alarmingly prevalent. It's an insidious problem that affects people from all walks of life, and its impact extends far beyond the victims themselves. Consider a story, one that is far too common. Imagine a woman, let's call her Jane. Jane is in a relationship with a man who, at first glance, seems charming and caring. However, as time goes on, Jane begins to notice subtle changes in his behavior. He starts to control her every move, dictate her choices, and isolate her from friends and family. Jane's story is not unique. In fact, it mirrors the experiences of countless individuals across the globe. It's a story that unfolds behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. It's a story of fear, control, and ultimately abuse. Ultimately, domestic violence manifests in many forms. It can be physical, sexual, emotional, economic, psychological, or even technological. It's not always as apparent as a black eye or a broken bone. Sometimes it's hidden in the shadows of a person's body language. The flinch at a sudden movement, the fear in the eyes, the hunched shoulders, these are all silent screams for help. And what about the children? Children exposed to domestic violence are particularly vulnerable. The trauma they experience can have long-lasting effects, shaping their future in unimaginable ways. It's a cycle of violence that needs to be broken. Now, let's take a look at California. According to statistics from the Department of Justice, the prevalence of domestic violence in the state is deeply troubling. It's a stark reminder that domestic violence is not a distant issue. It's right here, in our own backyards. But there's hope. Every one of us has the power to make a difference. Recognize the signs of abuse, both overt and subtle. Listen to the voices of victims and believe them. Show empathy and provide support. Stand together as a community against this heinous crime. Offer a lifeline to those in need. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence in California, reach out for help. There are resources available both online and offline. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is one such resource. It provides support, information, and local referrals. The number is 1-800-799-SAFE. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. In the face of domestic violence, silence is not an option. It's time to raise our voices, to stand up against this pervasive issue. Okay, it's time to break the cycle of violence and create a safer world for all. It's time to stand with Jane and the countless others like her. It's time to act, stand against domestic violence, support the victims, because everyone deserves to live a life free from fear and abuse.